Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Palo Alto Networks presents Cybersecurity Leadership Summit. Media partner CNBC-TV18.
A very warm welcome to all of you for the Palo Alto Networks Cybersecurity Leadership Summit 2023. I'm your host, Aditya Mathur. It's a great pleasure to see you all here this evening. This platform is Palo Alto Networks' annual leadership conference for the CIO and CISO community to meet, engage, network, and celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let's formally kick off the proceedings for the evening. May I please call up on stage Mr. Anil Valluri, MD and Vice President, India and SAARC at Palo Alto Networks, to share with us the great strides that Palo Alto Networks has made in the India region, his vision for India. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Valluri on stage.
This is the first time that we're doing in the history of Palo Alto Networks' existence in India. It's designed to be a very exclusive and flagship event for Palo Alto Network customers. Palo Alto Networks is the largest cybersecurity company in the world, and so it is in India as well. We are the largest cybersecurity company in India, with over 3,000 customers just in India, and 1,200 plus employees, including the engineering center. Out of the 3 engineering centers that we have worldwide, one of that is in India. It's extreme benefit to customers in terms of roadmaps, saying why we're doing what we're doing, and what the roadmaps and plans are. In the last 5 years, we've evolved and consciously built a company which is not just known for the next generation firewall that we originally started off with, but also did a lot of innovation and acquisitions along the way to address cybersecurity across cloud, across network, across endpoint, across incident response, and more importantly, in today's world, use of a lot of AI/ML capabilities to do things like automation around SOC and so on. So we will have experts talk about it and paint a picture on how we're doing and what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you after the event.
Next on stage, to deliver the keynote address, let's extend a warm welcome to Mr. Shailesh Rao, President, Global GTM and CRO Cortex at Palo Alto Networks. Let's welcome Mr. Rao on stage, who will share his views on why Palo Alto Networks is optimistic. Let's welcome Mr. Rao on stage.
By 2025, the monetary value of cyber threats around the world, ransomware, extortion, money spent by companies to prevent attacks after they've happened, not the investments you're all making today, but investments that companies will have to make, money you will have to spend, hopefully nobody in this room, on things and remediation and fixing things that go bad after a breach. That industry is going to be $10.5 trillion in 2025. That is the world's 3rd largest GDP after the United States and China. The cybersecurity industry is the world's 3rd largest GDP. It isn't quite there yet, but at the rate at which it's growing, by 2025, it will be the world's 3rd largest GDP. That is absolutely insane. At Palo Alto Networks, and we pride ourselves on the fact that we have the largest corpus of information relating to cybersecurity of any company in the world, because we collect more data than anybody else, we analyze it, et cetera, but at Palo Alto Networks, every single day, we detect 275,000, more or less, 275,000 brand new, never seen before attacks. Every day. The point is, how do you fight against this stuff? Is there any hope? And I'd like to tell you, at least from our perspective, certainly from my perspective, we are actually very optimistic. If we take a first principles approach, and I'm going to show you in the next few minutes why we are optimistic and why we think you should be too. Let's see, what do we first have to do? You have to start by hardening the attack surface. And hardening the attack surface means prevention. Not detection, prevention. That means any place you know the attacker could come in, harden it. Make sure they can't come in with whatever the state of the art is at the moment. You may not get it right all the time. You may not get it right 100%, but at least start by hardening the attack surface. And that means prevent what we know can be prevented. Start there. Does that mean you're safe? No. Things can still get through. So what could you do next? Take a zero trust approach. Not kind of zero trust, maybe a little bit of zero trust, on a good day, some kind of, no, zero trust means zero trust. It's the simplest phrase, I think, in cyber. Zero trust. Default, deny. Once you've done that, make sure that every attack that is known can be prevented. So that's the next step, right? Once you've done that, every unknown threat, the fastest you can detect it, and go fix it ASAP. Now, if you've done all of this, then what? Remember, with every one of these we're attacking, we're putting a new perimeter of defense against our enterprise. It has to work everywhere at once, natively integrated. Sounds hard, can be done. Can be done. Once you do all those things, then you have to do that at scale. We believe it makes sense, given the risk and given the scale of how bad things could be if something went wrong, that every one of us should be okay with a little bit of disruption. And this is the mindset change that I think we all need to have. We need to be comfortable with a little bit more risk than we have been before. In spite of all of this, why are we optimistic? Because we believe security is a solvable problem. And it is solvable now because of some of the things that have happened in the last few years that have never happened before. We can now operate at machine scale. So find a way to use these technologies to your advantage. Focus on prevention. Be okay with some disruption. And if you did all of that, there's one last thing you still need to do. Take a prescriptive call. We have to do that as vendors. There's many ways to get to the point, or get you from point A to point B. We need to tell you how to get there, which is something we're starting to do more of. You'll hear that more from us, but you have to be okay with that. You're saying, no, I'm going to take this call. Because if you do the on the one hand, on the other hand, a little bit of this, I'm not sure, no way you can win. But if you did all of that, we think security is a solvable problem, and that's why we're very optimistic. Thank you. We hope to be with you along on this journey. Appreciate it.
Palo Alto Networks presents Cybersecurity Leadership Summit. Media partner CNBC-TV18. Palo Alto Networks presents Cybersecurity Leadership Summit. Media partner CNBC-TV18.
The summit advanced with a panel discussion around building unified defenses, consolidating security in a connected world, where distinguished industry leaders and cybersecurity experts convened to address the pressing need for a consolidated and comprehensive approach to security in today's interconnected landscape.
Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for being here. As you know, today, security is pretty much of paramount importance, and I don't think there's any discussion around that. And today, modern cyber attacks are powered by automation tools and new age technologies, making it more challenging for organizations to provide security at every customer touch point. The discussion today is to go around and understand what are you doing with consolidated security, with the defenses, how things are moving around. Anubhav, why don't we start with you, since you're just closest to me on the left, right? So how do you approach the challenge of consolidating security measures in an interconnected environment? And being an NBFC, and especially in the lending side of the business, are there any specific technologies or innovations that have proven particularly effective in enhancing security measures?
What I feel is that security has to follow the way enterprise technology is elaborating and developing. Today, most of the enterprises, and specifically NBFC and fintech sectors, are operating across different dimensions. So they are all typically in a hybrid multi-cloud kind of environment with on-premise presence, cloud-based presence, remote presence, connectivity anytime, anywhere. And the entire paradigm of security has to basically have an interplay of three dimensions, which is what is happening on your data, what is happening on your physical security, and what is happening on your cyber security. So what is really required is basically a sort of what I call as a T20 team. They really have to play a T20 match today. And the ability to have genuine correlation, and which is where technologies like AI come in very, very handy, so that you are able to really identify what are the critical issues that need to be addressed while keeping the security portion of the enterprise intact. And that is where AI really comes in handy to identify the right set of issues. And the other two things that are very critical to make it a success is the ability to automate and orchestrate. Because even if you are able to detect your MTTD is quite low, unless you are able to orchestrate, automate, and act on it, there will be a dependency on different vendors, different tools, different people to actually do that.
Thanks for that, Anubhav. And I think that's a good point you touched upon, the AI and ML capabilities. So Anup, I'll come to you next. How effectively are organizations leveraging the cloud, AI, ML, or blockchain to enhance security measures and achieve a unified defense system? And what has been your best approach in creating such a security system, Anup?
The way I have seen over last 3 decades, the security has evolved is even as of now, I'm still seeing that the mindset has always been buy best of the breed tool. Having said that, the mindset is changing towards from best of the breed to maybe the best of the breed and best of the suite part of it, where you can look in. My approach would be to have a best of suite from a partner where the tools are collaborating and integrating with each other. We are able to get the best analytics and the best preventive kind of outcome from those tools, part of it. So to answer your question, yes, a unified platform where a platformic approach rather than a tool-based approach is something which we should get into. But it's looking at the industry where we have been, it's going to take a good amount of time to come out of that mindset and to come out of that tool invested, which are too many, to reach to a stage where we can.
Thanks for that, Anup. Coming to you, Sampath, tell us from an NSE standpoint, are there any industry-specific practices or standards that you have followed when it comes to consolidating security measures in a connected world?
The security requirement from each of the organization is completely different, but while looking at that, every organization look at how do we improve the overall security risk posture. Accordingly choose the platform, not the best of the breed products which can meet each individual requirement. The platform should be good enough to handle a unified view across the depth and breadth. So prevention is the most highest focus to be organization should focus on. Not only that, the future generation of the organization is looking at how it can be completely autonomous system which detect, prevent, and also the automatically close without affecting the business, so that business availability and uptime almost 100%.
Thanks for that, Sampath. Next, coming to you, Orkan. The context of building unified defenses, what role does a comprehensive and integrated security platform play in ensuring a consistent and effective security posture across an organization's infrastructures?
So first of all, it's really fascinating to hear that we all have widely agreed that the old legacy approaches to cybersecurity is not working and we need to change. We really need to shift our mindset of looking at how we can move away from fragmented security approaches. Again, cybersecurity is a data problem. Data problem across all these different areas that our data resides today, right? Hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, on-premise. How we can cross-correlate that data, it's gotta be the biggest panicky for us to solve the biggest challenge that we are seeing in the industry.
In the face of increasingly and sophisticated cyber attacks and threats, how does Palo Alto Networks differentiate itself in curating consolidated security solutions to provide organizations with proactive defense mechanisms?
Adaptive security and using security as an enabler for your business. Those are the key two philosophies. And we gotta look at how we can consistently provide that zero trust architecture to enable businesses to minimize their security risks, right? And that will give them an advantage on doing whatever the business outcomes that they need to deliver. In order to do that, you need a big data. And that big data, we talked about the numbers. We are the largest cybersecurity vendor in the world. We have 1,000 plus AI models deployed in our environment today to provide this intelligence to all our customers. We've been using ML in our platform since 2015. In the last 2 years, we accelerated that momentum. We are trying to simplify the whole security architecture. I think it's going to be a data problem, as I said, and an organization who take advantage of leveraging that data is the best. It's going to be the cybersecurity partner of choice for most of the organizations. And we're basically planning to be the cybersecurity partner of choice for all of you in this room.
Thanks a lot for that, Arkan. That also is bringing us to the close of the session. But any closing remarks or comments that you'd like to make? We can start with you, Sampath.
I think it's pretty much covered the entire panelist. As I said, the AML plays an important role while future part of the unified security management platform.
Anup?
So I'll just respond to what Archon said about Palo Alto as cybersecurity partner. My only 2 cents to Palo Alto would be play on the front foot with your partners and customers and kind of one, grab your new territories or retain your territories, because this is the competitive market. So that's my 2 cents to you guys.
Anubhav?
So I think my closing comment will be that cybersecurity is a continuum, and enterprises will continue to rely on strong partners to help them evolve into this continuum.
Arkan, anything that you'd like to?
I'm glad that we managed to convince you that security is solvable.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for your insights. I think that was quite valuable, and really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So as the digital economy is going to grow hugely, and cybersecurity is hands in gloves with the digital economy. So thanks to Palo Alto for arranging this event, increasing the awareness of cybersecurity among not only in India. I know you guys are doing globally, so thanks for that.
Subsequently, the summit welcomed Chris Srikanth, former captain of Indian cricket team and chairman of the BCCI selection committee, who showcased his exceptional leadership skills. Through a compelling session, Chris drew insightful parallels between the domains of sports and cybersecurity, underscoring the crucial role of teamwork, strategic thinking, and resilience.
A leader is a guy who takes up responsibility and motivates his young team, or motivates his team, I would say, not even young team, motivates his team so that everybody is comfortable and everybody does the best towards winning. I mean, whether it's a cricket team, whether it's a corporate, whatever it is. And most important is, how does a leader get the best out of the team? That's most important, because sometimes you might have some fantastic guys, but you might have to get the best out of them. So you should know what is the strength and weakness of individuals. And the other thing is, when the team wins, give credit to your team. When the team loses, you take the blame as a leader. That's the most important quality of a leader. I'm happy to be a part of this Palo Alto Networks cybersecurity event, because I think, as you all know, Palo Alto is the world leaders in cybersecurity, and cybersecurity is very, very important in today's life.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude, to sum up and to propose the vote of thanks, I'd now like to request Ms. Lisa Sim, Head of Marketing JPAC at Palo Alto Networks, for the vote of thanks.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you tonight. I appreciate that I stand between all of you and refreshments and food, so I don't feel the pressure at all to conclude quickly. But look, truly, thank you very much for tonight. I think one of the things that I have really thoroughly enjoyed was the thought leadership panel discussion that was held. I thought the idea around the mindset being so important was absolutely phenomenal to have as a leaving behind point. So I'm the founder of our CyberSafe Kids program, and I'm deeply passionate about us teaching the future generations about cyber safety and how to look after their safety and well-being and that of the people around them. So I would love the opportunity to work with any of you on projects in the community or within your local schools where you want to introduce cyber safety awareness and education. I have free resources that I can make available, and I love talking to teachers, parents and children. Thank you, each and every one of you in this room.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the sessions for the evening. Thank you for being an amazing, fantastic audience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Palo Alto Networks presents Cybersecurity Leadership Summit. Media partner CNBC-TV18.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.